Hey guys, how's it going? It's Robert Syslo here, Director of Production for Grant Cardone TV. And this week's episode of Ask the Pro, I have a very special guest, Mr. Kevin Burpee of Pride Adjusters out of Los Angeles, the largest public firm nationwide. Kevin Burpee is going to be talking to us about his experience. He's a current advertiser on Grant Cardone TV and is currently doing a lot of big things I think you guys will be very interested in. So Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I love the vest. I gotta get a vest like that. But let's get started. Let's roll right into it. So where did you get started? How did Kevin Burpee come to be? Let's talk about that.
Well, I came out of construction. I had a construction background, and once I kind of got tired of construction and the construction boom was going down, I got into insurance adjusting, and I mainly worked for, I was an independent adjuster working mainly for Farmers Insurance, and I worked for many years for them as kind of a consultant of sorts. And we worked in Southern California on very volatile claims. I was one of their complex adjusters that handled claims that were mainly had to do with adjuster impropriety, or there was another public adjuster on the file or an attorney, and I had to resolve those claims for farmers prior to them going to litigation, or if they were going to go to litigation, then I needed to put them in the best position possible. So
you started off working for farmers?
On the inside.
On the inside.
Yep, for insurance companies.
How many years did you do that?
About 4 years.
4 years, okay.
Yeah, so Farmers was going through some changes at the time, and so what I did was I took files from them, and I'd review them, I'd create an overview for them, and I'd say, this is where you're good, this is where you're not good, here's your pitfalls, here's what you need to do. So there was one file in particular. It was a Jewish school for girls, and they brought the file to me, and they said, we need you to write an ironclad denial letter on this thing, because that's one of my fortes was coverage and writing solid letters. So
when you say letters, what does that mean?
Like they wanted a denial letter. So there's a lot of forms of letters that the insurance companies send out, like a reservation of rights or an initial claim letter or denial letters or coverage letters. So that's kind of what I did for them. And I took these claims there was usually something wrong with the claim when I got a hold of it. So on this particular one, the Jewish School for Girls, there was a rabbi that was having a clash with one of the managers. And the manager wanted me to deny the claim, so I reviewed the file, and I went back to him and I said, hey, this is not a denial, this is a covered claim. And he said, well, I don't care, the adjusters denied it in the field, I've denied it over the phone, so you're gonna back us up and you're gonna deny it. And I said, well, it's not something I can do. This is like a couple $100,000. These people really need the money. It's a nonprofit. And basically we got into it in front of 100 other adjusters in a big room. No. But he set up his office. He set up his desk in front of the entire office. Like he didn't tuck away in a corner. And I admired that about him. Mm-hmm. But when he would get into it with somebody, it would be in front of everybody. So we got into it. Right. So he basically told me, hey, you write the denial letter, you send it out, or you turn in all your files. And I said, yeah, I'd rather turn in all my files. There's no way I'm going to support you in this denial. And I'm also going to take this file and I'm going to bring it to an attorney and I'm going to be their key witness. So it's exactly what happened. And Farmers ended up paying that claim. And I turned in all my files. And that's when I flipped over to being a public adjuster. Got it. So I started my own firm as a PA. And for a couple years.
Before you go into that,
sure.
For people that don't know what that is, what is a public adjuster?
So when a property damage claim occurs, the insurance company has their adjuster that they send out to the property. And
they're the guys that just oversee it.
They adjust the claim. They come up with they come up with a coverage decision. Is it covered or not covered? And if it's covered, then how much is owed on a claim? And most people think that guy or that girl is there for them. Right. But they're not. They're there for their employer. Their employer has trained them to limit payout on a claim, pay the least amount possible, if pay it at all. Mm-hmm. So our job as public adjusters is to advocate on behalf of the policyholder. You have to be licensed by the Department of Insurance in each state, and we attempt to maximize the amount of that claim for our client.
Got it.
And what they're rightfully entitled to under the policy.
Okay. Excellent. So let's continue now. So started your own deal, your own.
And then I later merged with Pride Adjusters, then eventually became the president of Pride and wound up becoming the sole owner of Pride a couple years ago.
So how did that happen? How did you go through those steps? What did that look like for you?
Well, there was some licensing issues that the company was having, and I had to qualify for all the licensing, and it just kind of morphed into me becoming vice president, then president, and then it just made sense. My prior partner wanted to go off and do other ventures like disaster recovery, and I was more geared for the insurance space, and he was more geared for the construction. So I bought him out and became the sole owner of Pride.
Amazing. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about was integrity. It sounds like that your whole career got launched off of a move where you had to stay true to yourself and what was right.
Yeah.
How important do you think that is for entrepreneurs and business owners to keep their ethics in and see something that might not be correct and really stand behind that? How do you think that could affect one's career?
Well, it's absolutely huge. I mean, you gotta stand firm behind your beliefs, and you have to do what you say you're gonna do. If you're not, and especially when you have a fiduciary responsibility.
Fiduciary, what's that mean?
A financial responsibility. You hold within your means the ability to have somebody financially gain or not gain through your decisions and your actions and your work ethic. So as a public adjuster, you have to work very hard. You're held to an ethical standard that's higher than most. The licensing requirements for each state are stringent, and the Department of Insurance oversees us, with a fine-tooth comb. So
for each state. So what is the in each state? You have to know each specific way that licenses are carried out.
Yep.
Rules and regulations. How much time are you devoting to that right now?
I have one person that's almost full-time that handles all of our licensing for Pride Adjusters for all of our adjusters.
Got it.
So I'm licensed in over 40 states.
Okay.
Across the nation. Some states don't allow licensing for public adjusters, but most states do. So I'm licensed in every state that you can possibly be licensed in. A lot of my adjusters are also licensed in multiple states. So with the licensing, there's testing, there's renewals, there's bonds that we have to carry. So it's nearly a full-time job for one person.
Just devoted to it. Excellent. So what services do you specifically provide? If somebody came to you, what would be some of the things that you would suggest? Usually
people come to us when they got a problem with their claim.
Okay.
That either it's been wrongfully denied or that it's been undervalued. It hasn't been paid correctly. So that means that the insurance company is sort of doing their job. They're not paying everything that the insured might be entitled to.
Okay.
Denied claims or just shortchanging them or paying the least amount possible. So when we come in, we assess the entire loss. We advocate or we fight on their behalf. We take on their experts. So they bring out experts to help them keep the payment low on a claim. We fight that. And we either discredit their expert or we provide all the information needed to push that claim to the next level. So let's say, for instance, a claim's denied altogether, and the insurance company's brought an engineer, and the engineer's used.
Why would explain why a claim would be denied?
Well, because they don't want to pay. I mean, I'm going to be flat out. They don't want to pay. So there's a lot of claims that, say, for instance, hail damage.
Right.
So the insurance company brings an engineer out.
Even though the policy might say that they're insured, they don't want to pay.
Yep. So the insurance company brings an engineer out to tell them whether there's hail damage to a roof or there is no hail damage. The trickery in this is that the engineer is only focusing on one key ingredient to the entire policy. So I liken it to the engineers looking through a keyhole into a room, and as public adjusters, we're allowed to open up the doors wide open and look in the entire room.
Got it.
So the engineer's looking for something called functional damage.
Okay.
Only functional damage.
Functional damage meaning it could still work even though it's damaged.
Right. So
it's like you don't really need to have that replaced.
A few months ago, I had a mediation here against an insurance company with a judge and it was hail damaged roof, and the insurance company denied it. The engineer said he found no functional damage to the roof.
Oh my gosh.
Meaning that the roof functioned in the same manner that it was intended to function. So I explained to the judge, I go, they're tricking you here. What they're telling you is that the water still runs off the roof the way it was intended to run off. But it's got huge dents in it. So it looks like hell. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so I just bought a new Corvette. And I said, okay, so let me explain to you your Corvette. If you had hail dents in your car, you could still drive down the street, but it's going to look like shit. Okay?
Yeah.
The policy covers loss of function or utility, loss of appearance, and loss of value. That's the definition of damage under a policy. The engineer's only looking at loss of function. So I told the judge, I said,
okay, I see what
your loss of appearance is your car looks like hell. Mm-hmm. It's beat to hell.
Right.
But your engineer's going to tell the insurance company it's still functionally sound. I go, your loss of value, judge, is that when you pull up to the light and there's a hot girl on the corner, she's not getting in your car. So he went back to the insurance company and told them, you guys need to pay this claim. I totally get it. So
what kind of steps do you have to take to fight? Like with customers, what's the success rate? Like, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have a huge success rate, over 95%.
Wow. Okay.
In getting claims covered or additional payment made on a claim.
Amazing.
We are extremely knowledgeable at what we're doing. All of our adjusters are well trained, and we utilize the policy to the insured's benefit.
Okay.
So the policy is, they're written so the layman can understand them.
Of course.
But we study those policies. We understand what they mean. And we have a huge team to back us also. We have a legal team if needed.
So how hands-on with the individual that comes to you? Are they a part of the process? Do they know everything that's going on?
Yep.
There's no mystery involved in it?
You mean as far as the client?
Yeah, the client.
Yeah, the client's updated weekly. They understand the entire process, and they understand it is usually going to be a battle.
Absolutely. So I know there's other people that kind of do the same thing in the U.S. Obviously,
Right.
It's business. Why would somebody come to you?
Well, the reason they'd come to us is because since we're nationwide, we're the only nationwide firm that handles everything in-house. So what you get in California is what you're going to get in Texas, and what you're going to get in Florida, and what you're going to get in Chicago. You're getting the same people, the same process. Nothing's going to deviate. If you going to other public adjusters, and there's some great public adjusters out there really is, but if you have a loss in Texas and then you have a loss in Chicago, you got to start the process over and go find another public adjuster in Chicago or in Florida. Not everyone is licensed. There's nobody licensed in all the states that we're licensed in. We have more licenses. 43.
43.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons that people come to us when they do. Large contractors that do a lot of work all across the nation is because they know when they come to us, they're dealing with Kevin Burpee. They're dealing with the same office staff.
I heard that you were a celebrity in the industry.
I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. But we definitely work hard, and we're out there a lot. And I owe a lot of that to you too.
Thank you.
Because you said, hey, post 2-3 times a day, get content out. And one of the biggest things you taught me was give it away. Mm-hmm. Give it away. Give away your best stuff, which we did. Mm-hmm. And
how has that helped? Like, what
we were able to start. Jason Chi, who's here with me also, him and I started Insurance Mastermind Group.
Oh, awesome.
We call it IMG. Uh-huh. And we kind of just started it just like, hey, let's see what we can give. Let's see how much we can give. We're not charging anything. We do these mini conferences all over the nation. And let's just see what value we can give. And then we saw that other people started to jump on board and want to give. And then corporations wanted to jump on board and give.
Wow.
Now you've got all these people just giving.
Yeah.
And so the first thing we talk about at IMG, we literally stand up and say, guys, we're really sorry. We have nothing to sell, and you can't buy anything here. You couldn't buy a banana if you wanted to buy a banana. We don't have it.
Got it.
Sorry.
We're just here to
But
give you information.
here's what we're going to give you.
That's amazing.
And so now it's starting to take on its whole another identity where there's pocket groups popping up in different cities saying, guys, let's get together. Let's share what we know to make everybody better. It really is. It's and we've got corporations that are tripping over themselves saying, can we sponsor? Can we pay you? It's like, no, we're not selling anything. You guys, we don't want you to miss the meaning here.
Yeah.
But through that,
yeah,
organically, Pride has grown, and I've seen other companies also grow just by jumping in and saying, guys, what can we give you? What can we teach you?
Wow.
You know, what do you want?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's incredible.
So like we're here on Win the Storm this weekend or this week, and we already have an IMG event tonight going to.
Awesome.
And there's probably going to be 40 some people there, attorney, contractors,
That's amazing.
Everybody getting together going,
This is what we know.
yeah,
Let's talk.
What can we do?
That's amazing.
Yeah, how can we make things
What an
better?
incredible thing you've done.
So it's awesome.
Super proud of you. So where can people find you? Where can people follow you?
So I'm Kevin at prideadjusters.com is my email. Facebook, Kevin Burpee. Prideadjusters.com is our website. I always give my phone number out, 310-292-3573. I'm on the phone all day long. Text me. We're here to give. We're here to bring you some value.
The best. The best nationwide.
We love it. We work hard. We love what we're doing.
It's amazing. Well, I got a few takeaways out of this. I got the give thing again. Like for me, giving is absolutely a necessity.
I can honestly say you guys did that. You did that because you see a lot of people just trying to just jump in and sell, and it was like that's not what it's about.
There's definitely time, and I am trying to sell, but in the giving, I found that people become more engaged, more interested, and then you could be like, oh, hey, are you interested? Maybe later on you could have the conversation, but the first step is, hey, I'm really here because I want to help.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
I got integrity, I got stand up for what you believe in, and I've also got that this guy does his due diligence across 43 states, nationwide, the best pride adjuster in the nation right here, Kevin Burpee. You can check his website out at prideadjusters.com, prideadjusters.com. He's at Kevin at Pride. Kevin at Pride on Twitter. It'll be right there below. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Ask the Pro. Stay tuned. Every week, Grant and I bring somebody that's an expert, a true industry leader to give you tips and strategies to make your lives better. Tune in next week. Thank you so much.